Hello there, Martyn Green, Devon Fishing Guides. It's New Year's Eve and I'm down tonight at Strete, which is on the far left of Slapton Sands. It's a lovely night, or it will be, probably a very cold one, but it's looking good. Behind me, the sea has settled down an awful lot from where it was. If I pan the other way, you can see all's looking well with the world. Tucked in the distance just there is my young friend Rapper, who's just taking himself out of shot. But there we go. So anyway, this time of the year you think about the old and the new. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. So what I've done is I've brought down with me 2 Tip Tornadoes. I have one of the original 12-foot formula Tip Tornadoes. Absolute beauty of a rod. When I purchased it many years ago, and we must be talking 30 years plus, even then it was like £325. Since then, I have to say, it has become my favourite rod. It casts beautifully. I've never gone more than 6 ounces on it. 5 ounces seems to balance it perfectly, but it's really good to use. So I've got that one set up on a single hook tackle. So what I've done, and I will put graphics on this so you can see what's what, is I've got a paternoster up and over rig. Again, new. I've only had that one developed in the last few weeks. However, on the other rod which I've got a Tip Tornado Supermatch. Lovely rod, about 1.5 foot longer than the original one. So 13'6" compared to 12 foot. My apologies if I'm not quite right, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Much stiffer. But I got that loaded up with a fixed ball reel, and I'm going to see how that goes on. And on that one, I've got the new rod set up with one of my old favourite rigs. Now, I don't know if you've seen this one before, but it is a double drop-down pulley rig. So once again, when I do the graphics, I will put in a picture that shows you exactly how that tackle is made. Now, we're going to be losing the light, so I need to get fishing. But we shall see what we shall see. Will the old do better than the new? Will it be vice versa? The new does have the advantage of 2 hooks. Or are we just going to have a New Year's Eve catching diddly squat? I don't know. We shall have to see. Anyway, if you're watching this, may I say first of all that I hope you have a happy new year and a wonderful time in the days ahead. Meanwhile, I'm going to try and get fishing. See you in a little while. The rig that I was using with my original formula Tip Tornado is the up and over paternoster. For this one, I make an eye on a piece of wire, which I then clip onto a splashdown link. I then put up a piece of aquarium tubing, pushing it over the bottom of the splashdown link so that it can't accidentally become detached. I then make the rest of the boom, which is basically just take the end, turn it back into an eye, wind it round and jam the aquarium tubing tight to the splashdown link. The rest of it is like a normal extended up and over ledger really. What you've got is from the splashdown link, you've just got line that runs up through a proper pulley, and on the end of the proper pulley you have a bead, a tubing, a bead and a cascade swivel. Your long trace comes up and over from the paternoster boom over the cascade swivel back down to hang the hook over the splashdown link or the splashdown weight. It's actually really nice and clean delivery. So far I've never yet had a tangle during the cast. On the Supermatch, I put a double drop-down pulley rig. Now, the top of the pulley rig is easy enough. You've got a bead, tubing, bead, swivel, trace to hook. If you're going to use worm baits, you need a stop and a bead on that one. And then all of that gets threaded through a proper pulley. Once you've threaded the proper pulley onto the line, you slide down, you have a bead, you then put on a drop-down clip, and then the rig runs all the way down to another bead underneath the clip, and then an optional fast link or a splashdown link, depending
on whether you're going to use an ordinary weight or whether you're going to use a splashdown weight. Basically what happens is the top hook hangs upon the drop down clip, and then the second hook, the lower hook, hangs onto the splashdown link or the splashdown weight. When you cast, it's a beautifully streamlined little tackle. When it hits the water, the bottom hook comes off the splashdown link. At the same time, or only a fraction of a second afterwards, the top hook comes off the drop down link, and then the drop down link falls to the bottom while the top hook remains where it was. Altogether, it's a very nicely spaced rig, and it works very well. As so often happens at this time of the year, during the daylight hours, we had no bites whatsoever. But as it started to get dark, the fish began to get on the feed. On the up and over paternoster tackle, I persevered with a large piece of mackerel, and on the double drop down pulley rig, I tried smaller baits, but still quite sizable chunks of mackerel too.
So this is what's been causing a lot of the bites. Just whiting, not a big one, probably about half a pound to 10 ounces. There's been a lot of them around, but nice clean fish. Now my other rod's just gone on the ratchet. Let's get him back in. So on a night like tonight, I was dealing with one rod, a left-hand rod, and then my Tip Tornado, my old Tip Tornado, gave a decided nod. By the time I got over there, whatever it was had spat out. But the little whiting bite that I had, that's all that's left of the whiting that took it. So whether that was a bullhuss or a conger perhaps, or whatever, it's made a real old mess of the whiting. Wow, I shall have to get my bait back out again.
Over the course of the evening, we had about 20 whiting, 14 of them on the Tip Tornadoes. Both Beachcasters were magnificent. I have to say one's old, but I really love it. But the new one, just as good. Couldn't fault either of them. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope you found it informative, and if you would like to subscribe to the channel or click on the likes below, it would be very much appreciated. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.